Hello and welcome to part 3 of How to Work Smarter with Social Media. I'd like to begin our session with recapping the first two videos on the topic. In the beginning we talked about my promise to you about more effective ways to manage your email, to focus on the important messages, and we talked about digital note-taking to stay organized. Today we're going to talk about using LinkedIn to strengthen your professional network. And then in the last video, we'll conclude with other tools like Hootsuite and Twitter. So just to recap, special thanks to Alexandra Samuel, who inspired a lot of this work. If you haven't seen it yet, take a look at her Work Smarter with Social Media Collection article. In part 1 of the series, we talked about email, and the goal was to help you be more focused and effective with your email inbox. We talked about ways to control your email, and we got into some of the data about how often we check it, how frequently we look at it, and how much of our workday is consumed by email. We talked about how to organize what happens offline and what happens online. I gave you 6 ways to improve your email efficiency with really a focus on the inbox divided into areas that require a response, a follow-up, or areas that need to be filtered. Then we talked about organizing information through many tried and tested techniques from the experts about various planners, and I walked you through the use of Google Calendar and then Evernote and some old-fashioned methods like Simple Elephant and the Clever Fox, and left you with the overarching goal that you need to remain mindful of the fact that you are in control of your workflow. So that brings us to part 3, which is the social media tools portion of the 4-video series. I want you to always remember that it is my goal to help you become more focused and effective rather than overloaded and distracted. So let's talk about making the most out of several social media applications, namely LinkedIn. I'm going to walk you through creating a professional photo, how to use Photofeeler to get some feedback about the nature of that photograph, and to clearly identify potential contacts that you can use in building your LinkedIn professional network. And then finally, I'll give you some tips on creating content for it. So let's get right into the importance of a professional network. The goal here is to show people the importance of your craft, whatever that might be, your skill or whatever it is that you have to offer. And LinkedIn is really the front runner at the time of this video, insofar as it is a social media tool that focuses on the professional relationships that have the most impact on your career and or your business. The first step is to start with a professional photo. I have seen so many LinkedIn profiles that have a picture of someone wearing board shorts and holding a red cup in their hand. Those types of things are really more appropriate for a different platform. LinkedIn is really a professional platform. So my first suggestion is to start with a professional photo. Get a headshot done. Go to a photographer, find someone who specializes in this, and get yourself some studio time and get a professional photo. It pays off in spades. And then test it in an application called Photofeeler. I'll provide you with additional details on that in a moment. And while you're in there, you can test several different metrics to see how various people respond to your content, respond to your photo, and you can test photos of yourself or of your team. Okay, here we are in Photofeeler. This is an example of a test that I started running very recently, and I used a professional headshot that I had taken about 2 years ago. As you can see, this was at a time before I had this growth on my face, and I published it here on Photofeeler, and it gives you results across various metrics such as confidence, authenticity, and fun. You can use this application for Other things that you'd like to get information about, for example, you could use it for social profile, your business profile, your online dating profile. It has many different ways to get information. And Photofeeler is a data science company. A little bit about them. Their technology uses algorithms and artificial intelligence, and having used it myself, it requires that you vote on other people before people vote on you. So you create something called karma when you vote on other people. And as you vote on those other people, you accumulate karma, and then your photo gets circulated for other people to vote on you. And having used it myself, I've gone through the carousel, as it were, voting on people, and every so often it'll bring back someone that you already voted on to kind of validate your own ranking against yourself, to see if you're ranking the same person the same way multiple times. And it has mechanisms like that that are built into its algorithm, so you can be fairly confident in the results that you get from Photofeeler, that what you see is truly what you got. And then when you download the test, you can get the results right here, and it'll give you some feedback. And then you can download the test, and it gives you some feedback about your results. So play around with Photofeeler. I hope you find it useful. So here's some tips for building your professional network. You want to clearly identify your contacts. You want to decide what types of contacts you want to make. You begin with the people in the same industry. Current and former colleagues are a great place to start, and don't forget to add contacts from college. Then connect with them selectively. Your first degree connections are the most important. They will be the ones that form many of your additional relationships to come. And the important question to ask about connecting with someone is this. You need to ask yourself if you would do a favor for that person, or if that person would do a favor for you. If the answer is yes, then that is the type of person you should connect with on LinkedIn. Here are a few tips for creating content. Step one is to take a look at how other profiles are created by people in your industry. If you'd like to add more content to your profile, there are plenty of opportunities available. You can choose photos of yourself, of your team, your products, and make sure that you include your goals as a company, or if you're in consulting or a sole proprietor, that type of thing. Just make sure you include those relevant details. Second is recommendations and endorsements. This is a very important feature of LinkedIn that you should not be shy about. Just ask. If you'd like a recommendation, just ask someone for it. And if you can't think of what to write for someone when they ask you for a recommendation, ask them for a bulleted list of points that they'd like you to include when you write a reference about them. And you could even ask them for an example reference. And then third, meeting new people on LinkedIn. Some say it's best to ask for a professional introduction, and yes, that can be very powerful and important. But I kind of lean towards just asking people. Just connect with them. And if they want to connect, they connect. It's as simple as that.